Hello and good evening, guys. Welcome to the first deadline stream of this FPL season 2021-2022. My name is Mo and welcome. This is FPL 2021-2022 kicking off for you guys. So I've brought you guys a live deadline stream a night before. So usually people like to do it just before the deadline itself, but unfortunately tomorrow I have still got some work commitments, so I won't be able to do it just before the deadline itself. So I thought, you know what, let's do it the night before. Let's get together. Let's go through what our decisions are, what our teams are. Have we finalised them? We're still looking at some final minute changes. Have we made our captaincy decisions? We're just going to go through every single thing one by one. So first of all, before we begin, I just want to say, how is everyone? What's going on? So what we will be doing is just going through my team selection itself and other things in terms of how FPL is looking to line up indeed. So in terms of my squad itself, so I did a squad release last night, to be fair. So it was one of those where I was going to give out my team itself. So the only thing that I've changed actually from there until now is, actually, to be fair, I haven't changed anything directly just yet. So I'm just going to submit that change in right now. Let me just refresh that for you. So I made one change from Davis on the bench to Obafemi. So in terms of, there was a risk of an injury to Davis, so whether he'd play or not. Plus with the transfer at the moment of Danny Ings to there, he probably won't get much game time as well. So that's why I've popped him in as well. So we've got the 15-man squad here, ready to go for tomorrow. So the first thing what we're going to do is discuss, what kind of thought process we're going for captaincy. So usually I do a captaincy video for the early part of the week, but you know what? I thought we'd discuss it in here, what the hot points are, what the hot topics are, who the best captaincy choices are, and who indeed we can select. So basically, in my regards, what we have, first of all, is Salah. So if we'll go for Liverpool, we'll go by team, and we'll discuss who our captaincy options are. So if you are joining this in terms of it, let me know who your captaincy choices are, and let me know what the reason or rationale behind it will be. So for me, it's Salah. The reason why I've chosen Mo Salah is pretty simple. The fixture for Norwich away, is going to be pretty much most people's captain. Hey Shaggy, thank you for joining. Ownership-wise, we've got 5.3 million managers almost registered for this game. So the way I'm seeing it, are they going to, in terms of 50, basically 51% of managers have him already. They're pretty much, most of them are going to captain. There's going to be obviously certain managers who are going to go with the option to go differential. However, for myself, I'm actually going to stick to Mo Salah and not go for the differential option so quick. So I'm just going to change the size of the screen so you guys can see. Apologies for that. So let me get it through. Yeah, perfect. So, sorry about that. So what we have here is Mo Salah. For me, I reckon he's going to be the best captaincy choice from Liverpool. There are other players that people are looking at the moment. So, for example, Mane as a differential. So in terms of ownership-wise, if we look at Mane, Sadio Mane. Cool. So 4.5% of managers already have Sadio Mane in their squad. At the moment, again, for me, it's a differential option. So the way I see it personally, there's nothing wrong with going for Mane because of the fixture itself. What problem I have with Mane is his season form last season, and plus what gives Mo Salah the competitive edge for me is the fact that he's on penalties. So penalties is a huge thing. There's a likelihood they can win it, obviously with VAR as well. The option for Mane, is sensible, but again, if they get a penalty and Salah converts it immediately, you'll find that Mane will make a good option whatsoever. We've also got Jota from Liverpool as well. So Jota, a lot of people at the moment are thinking of a differential option. In the first part of the season, he will get a lot of game time. So, when the competition starts in terms of, EFL, FA Cup, Champions League, he might get rotated a bit more. It's between him and Firmino. But these are the three captaincy options from Liverpool itself. We'll go through a bit of questions that I'm getting as well. So Shaggy saying he'll captain Salah and vice captain Bruno or Ings. So I've gone Salah and Bruno myself personally. Hoxton says, hi mate, really like the team for the 5 at the back. Thank you very much. So, I've got Shaggy asking me, why have I got 5 at the back? So I'll tell you the main reason behind it. I played this game for about 8 years. I've always gone this specific method where I want to play 3 defenders, 4 defenders at the back. So I've done a lot of analysis of how teams played last season. For example, if I played this team last season versus the team I was about to select for this season with a 3-4-3 formation, this team personally has outscored that by 50 points, but it's not with Ings and Son. So it had Harrison and Kane. So my overall aim is to get Kane back into this squad. Whether he plays for Spurs or Manchester City, I want to see how that goes. And effectively, I'd like to get Harrison back in for Son. Let's say Harrison's price goes up. I've got alternatives to come in like Ben Rama, even Dallas at 5.5, or I can look elsewhere to get alternative players. So that's it from me in regards to how I've chosen 5 at the back and why I'm going 5 at the back. It's just something that I wanted to do. So for me, I've looked at options in the midfield. To be fair, if you look at it from the options from midfield, who do we have originally? You've got Greenwood, you've got Jota, you've got Foden's out at the moment, you've got Dele Alli. There are options like these who, or Mount, for example. These guys will get minutes, but if you look at their points tally from last season, 120, 150 maximum. But look, I've chosen players at the back with 120 who I think are underachieved due to minutes. You've got Luke Shaw, who got his best season with 124 points. I reckon he'll get better with that this season. Ben White, going from Brighton to Arsenal. Arsenal were the 3rd best clean sheet or defensive record last season. I think they'll get better and he'll get more points from there. Cresswell got nearly around 150 odd points as well. So that's the rationale for me behind it. And Diaz, he's the only player from Manchester City that I think will be pretty much regular playing at the back for them. So that's why I've chosen these. It's a bit more of a long-term strategy why I've chosen these guys as well. Is Lukaku in the game? 11.5 million thoughts. Actually, to be fair, I've come back from work and I haven't actually had a look at Lukaku. Let's have a look, guys. Chelsea... Lukaku, 11.5. Isn't that amazing that they still got the Manchester United jersey on him? So, 11.5. What is my thoughts around Lukaku? Let's see what he was averaged or priced previously in the game. So, he's priced at 11.5 at one point in the game. He's still priced at around 9 mil before going to United, 8.5 in his last season, which he didn't actually contribute before he got sold to Italy. But yeah, he was 11 million in his last season, 11.5 when he was at his peak. I think it's personally a bit too high. So with Lukaku, look, is he going to take penalties? You've got Havertz there, Werner, you've got so many penalty takers. Is he going to take penalties? You've got Jorginho, who took the most penalties last season. For me, 11.5, yes, he's played in the Premier League before, but returning back, it's far too expensive for me. 11.5, I'd rather go Jamie Vardy at 10.5. It makes him the 2nd most expensive striker in the game after Harry Kane. Again, we'll just have to wait and see. His highest goal tally was 25 goals and 6 assists in one season, which is phenomenal back in 2016-17. But it has changed in the Premier League. Can he replicate it again? For me, I think it's a bit too much for Lukaku. We'll have to wait and see what he brings out and what he brings out in terms of Chelsea. Will he fit into the system? How will Tuchel play him? When will he start? Is he available for this weekend? I don't think so. And then the next 2 games they've got, Crystal Palace, this is the easiest game for me. You've got Arsenal and Liverpool. Personally, for me, I'd like to see how he plays. Let him get into the squad. Let's see how they line up. Let's see what kind of service he gets. And let's see what kind of form he's in. Or is he up to speed with the Premier League or not? Arsenal Liverpool will be really good to check that out. Then there's an international break. You've got 2 weeks to decide with the final transfers as well. If you want to play a wild card to get him in and you want to kind of shake up your team, then it will be worth kind of bringing him into your squad and you can get more of an understanding of how you want your team to look. But for me, guys, if you're going to bring in an £11.5 million striker, how much of a tinkering do you have to do with your team? How many players do you have to take out? Are you going to go and do it now and put him on your bench? That's your choice. But for me, that's far too expensive to have a player of that price on your bench. It's too expensive, guys. 11.5, I can't do it. I can't do it with Kane. And I so badly wanted Harry Kane in my squad for the first game week. And I kept it in till last night before I released my final team for game week 1. But 11.5, guys, is far too much for a player, especially who hasn't played last season in the Premier League. Yes, he's done well for his country. Yes, he's done well in the Italian league. However, this is the Premier League, and how will he fare up? And let's say you bring him in let's say you bring him into let's say game week 4, Aston Villa at home. But then you've got Tottenham and Man City, respectively, difficult fixtures, even according to the fixture difficulty rating on Fantasy Premier League, got 4 and 4. But then he's got a real nice run from game week 7. So for me personally, if I was looking to get Lukaku in, let's say Kane doesn't hit any form, he doesn't settle into Manchester City, or he stays at Spurs and it's not going well. For me, all I need to do is I just need to downgrade. So from 12.5 to 11.5, if he has a bit of a price increase, I can deal with that. And then I'll have a mil to spare to upgrade in other parts of my team, so I can get Diaz to Robertson if he comes back. In addition, I can actually go from 6 mil Harrison to 7 mil Zaha or Harvey Barnes. That's entirely innocent. If Werner gets off to a good start, I might even look to get him in, or even Martial. There are going to be other players, Greenwood, Foden, Grealish, who will play well. So there'll be a bit of tinkering. I might like to play my wild card in game week 7. It really depends on how it will go for Chelsea itself. In regards to Lukaku, I don't have any doubts on his ability, but 11.5 guys mil in terms of budget, that's a huge chunk of your budget, and you have to really firstly be confident he's starting. Is he available for the Saturday game? I'm not too sure. Has he come into the country? Has he quarantined? We'll have to wait and see what Tuchel says. Most of the team players aren't going to be available anyway, but if he is firing and stuff, this guy's going to be quite high in terms of captaincy options. I want to see who takes the penalty when he's on the pitch, because if he starts taking penalties, then for sure I'm going to be dragged towards him as well. So we've gone through Lukaku itself. Hey mate, funny story from the unofficial tribe. I've gone very differential with my picks and I've lost 10 subscribers since. Don't worry, buddy. I've been in the same situation. I lost a few subscribers of having 5 at the back. But you know what? That's the best thing about this game, guys. We have to agree to disagree. It's all about perception, and it's all about gut feeling, and it's all about your inkling, really. So that's why this channel is called FPL Inkling. Whatever your inkling is, you play your game and you take a risk, and let's see what comes off it. Look, this may not go really well for me. For me, I just think I have better balance with 5 defenders at the back than having 2 midfielders and a striker that after about 4 or 5 game weeks, I'm probably going to lose patience with them. I'll probably go and change them. By the time I change them, I get the new guys in, they'll probably lose form, and the others will start hitting form who I originally had. So it's a bit of a catch-22 situation. I've gone long-term this time. Look, there's no reason why, if they flop in the first week, I might even just rip my whole team apart and start fresh. You never know. This is the beauty of the game. That's why we have a wild card. So don't get too let's say over passionate or too sensitive around selections. Look, this is the end of the day, we're all managers, we all make our own decisions, and do you know what? The best thing we can do is stick by our gut instinct. Hoxton says he's a wait and see for me as well at the moment. Yeah, cool. So that's what it is. That's what it is with Romelu Lukaku, guys. And whilst we're on Chelsea, we can go through some captaincy options for them. Now, they just played 120 minutes last night with a penalty shootout. Physically draining and emotionally and mentally kind of straining, obviously with the travel as well that they're going to do. So what captaincy options do you actually realistically have? If we look at their fixture, they've got a very friendly fixture on 3 o'clock on Saturday against Crystal Palace at home. So who are the options that you may have? So, potentially Havertz. He's played 120 minutes, missed a penalty as well. Will he get the captaincy armband? Will it be Timo Werner in your team? Would you give him the captaincy armband? Again, these guys have played minutes on the weekend, guys. But again, if you want to go differential, I've seen people choose these guys, so that's entirely your choice. Some people might go completely left wing and choose Jorginho. He's on penalties, had a good game during midweek as well last night. So that's a chance as well. But for me, guys, personally, I'd avoid Chelsea. Despite their good fixture on Saturday, I can see a lot of their players, main first-team players, not starting because of the kind of, prolonged extra time game they had midweek this season. So other captaincy options which we can go through whilst we're on the topic of captaincy. Of course, we'll go to Manchester United. And my vice captain for this week is Bruno Fernandes. So why Bruno Fernandes? Again, he's owned by over 50% of managers. It's either Bruno or Bruno for many managers. But why? Why is there so much ambiguity around Bruno, guys? This is what I don't understand. Like, I'm a Man United fan, so you can probably say I'm being a bit biased, but people call him Fernandes, and I've given my verdict around that. But why are we so anti-Bruno? If he's in your team and he does well, you're safe. He's not in your team and he has an absolute amazing game week. So I remember last season, I had him in my team against Everton, and one of my friends who was a part of our league at that point lost patience with Bruno, brought in another player, I can't remember at the time, and Bruno against Everton got 17 points, I think a couple of goals and assists and man of the match. and I had him as captain at 34 points. That created a huge gap. Now, he wasn't in any form at that point. He didn't actually have one of the best games either. He just got into the right places at the right time and scored. Now, that made a huge difference to me. But sometimes what you need to understand is these big hitters, the premiums, they will score even if they're on a bad run. You just have to be patient with them. So Kane, Bruno, Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, you'll get these guys having a bit of a couple of quiet games. Kane is the best example. The guy will go many games without a goal. Suddenly he's got 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 3 games of 6 points. Suddenly, bam, 15, 20 points game. He will make the averages up in terms of the last 5 game weeks. So whenever I did, top 5 players for this game week and averages for the last 5 game weeks, Kane was always in there. Despite not performing in 3 out of those 5 games, he will have those big moments where he goes well. And that's where you need to kind of look into the game, pick the right captain, and choose it from there. But Bruno, for me, guys, he's on penalties. He's going to be taking them. Now, a lot of people are talking about his positioning. Because of Sancho, where will he play? Sancho's going to be on the right. Martial probably on the left. Cavani up front. You're going to have Bruno probably behind Cavani, or if Bruno plays up front. What's that going to do to him? Guys, he's always going to be offensive. The guy gets involved with set pieces in terms of free kicks, corners, penalties. He's going to be part of any attacks. And there are moments where he doesn't even intend to get a touch, and he'll touch the ball and it'll end up in someone's feet like Greenwood, and they'll bury it. He'll get an assist without even actually trying. That is Fernandes for you, and that's what these guys do in terms of the big hitters in premiums. So trust him, guys. He will come good. And they got Leeds first up. Now, Leeds offensively were absolutely amazing last season. Dallas, Harrison, Bamford, Rafinha. You had all these big hitters who were getting goals. Defensively, they were awful. Let's not forget United put 6 past them at Old Trafford last season. Will they do it again? I don't think so. It's not impossible, but let's see how they line up defensively. I don't think defensively they're that great or much better this season. But we don't need to worry about the attacking aspect because he's not a defender. But can I see him getting a goal? Of course. Can I see him getting a cheeky penalty? Why not? Can I see him converting it and getting a man of a match performance? Of course. So out of those 50% of managers, do not be surprised that many people may actually captain him for that reason. So if that is your choice, guys, stick to it. I mean, obviously, I think most people are going to captain Salah for this game week, so they want to be safe. But there's 50% of managers who actually own Bruno as well. So we'll just have to wait and see who goes in which direction. Now, this is what the surprising fact is. So this is something that I'm going to discuss with you guys. So I get a lot of people who come up and say to me, who have messaged me on social media on my videos saying, no Trent, no Mane, no Sterling, no Grealish, X, Y, Z. I'll give you an example. So at the moment, Mo Salah is owned by 51%, Bruno 50%. So that means practically in every 10 managers, 5 managers will have these players and 5 managers won't. Now, does that make their team weaker than ours, or does that make their team, not as strong for game week 1? They've gone alternative. They've spread their funds elsewhere, which is good. This is what makes this game so engrossing, is you want to see if you've missed out, has the other person gained advantage, or if you've got an advantage, has the other person got a differential who's kind of helped them go up the ladder of kind of overall rank. That is what we're looking for, guys. So Bruno and Salah, you have to look at it. Both players, out of 10 managers, 5 managers won't have selected them. Now, that doesn't make their teams any weaker. That doesn't make them, not understand the game. That's just the way they're going to go, guys. So we just have to take it as a pinch of salt and see how these guys perform. Their ownerships will go up and down based on form and recent performances throughout the season. Let's just say the first game or 2 games, Salah and Bruno don't perform. Do not be surprised if people shift their allegiance towards Lukaku if he bangs in a goal. Or let's say Sterling has an absolute amazing game against Tottenham on Sunday. That can happen. So that's Fernandes in terms of a captaincy option. We've also got potentially Greenwood. Someone might want to go differential, 6.5% ownership. He will get game time. With Cavani not having any preseason minutes and him scoring in preseason games, I think he's a good shout as well. If you really, really want to go left wing, Martial, less than 2% of managers own him. We do know that when he does go big, the guy can score some fantastic goals. And if you really want to give a new boy a chance, Sancho, owned by 11% of managers, you can go for him as well. So I'll go through some questions now, guys. What do we have? Sorry, I was going through captain season. We've got a few questions in. Hi Huxton, the United shirt on him made me laugh. Yeah, exactly. That was my reaction. I've not seen him in the game. For seeing him in a United shirt, that was brilliant. I mean, if they'd kind of picked like an old picture from Chelsea days or Everton, I'd have understood. But United, that's brilliant. Considering they paid nearly 100 mil for this guy, I'm sure they could have got a photo shot of him before they put him on the game. So Shaggy, I'm going to go Sanchez, then Trent, Shaw, Chilwell, and Maddison, Rafinha, Bowen, Salah, bro, and then Tony with Bamford. Great squad, mate. Honestly, I generally believe everyone's in their own right to have good squads. We just can agree to disagree, but generally, every squad I've seen some real depth, and I really like that team, Shaggy. So well done, big thumbs up. The unofficial tribe says they've got, I can't pronounce this Liverpool defender's name. I'm sorry, it's like a tongue twister for me. But Samiskas, I think that's how you say it. Shaw, Target, James, Salah, Jota, Fernandez, Ings, Antonio DCL, Bench, Steer, Amity, Regular, and Smith Rowe. I really like that team, buddy. I really like the bench. The only thing I'm going to say is I'm not too sure about Calvert-Lewin. We'll have to wait for Benitez tomorrow to give his insight of how this guy's doing. But there's still a 75% chance of him playing at the moment because he's got a knock in the last week's game against Manchester United. So just watch out for that. If he is fit and available, great shout. If he's not, then just be careful. You might as well use those 8 million elsewhere, potentially even get Bamford in for the game, or if you want to use 8 million elsewhere, maybe like a Watkins. Even Wilson for Newcastle might be a good shout. So have a look around, buddy. There might be a chance you can make that change before the deadline. Hoxton, he's a wait and see for me as well at the moment. Yeah, so Lukaku is a wait and see, guys. We'll just have to wait and give him a chance. Those first 3 games are the ones where we can have a look. Wait till the transfer deadline, wait for the international break, and then if you want to get him in your squads, it's time to rip it up and play a wild card. And possibly by then we'll know what Kane's doing as well. So who knows, I might even have a change of plan. I might just go 2 premium strikers up front, might get rid of a midfielder. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes really and who plays in what situation. Timo Werner might have an absolute smashing start. He had good opponents last season. I think if he got a point for every time he was offside last season, I think fantasy managers probably could have made about 50 points extra. That's how great he was. Or Ollie Watkins, for example, if he got a point for every time he hit the goalpost or the bar, he definitely would have got valuable points for. He could have hit 200 points last season. But hey, this is the beauty of the game, guys. We're all sat here, all contemplating what we're going to do. I'm certain whoever's watching right now, you guys have all made drafts, thought this is the one, guys, and then literally half an hour later, you've had a thought, ripped it completely up. So let's have a think about it, guys. We've still got 24 hours, or just under 24 hours now, to get our teams in. So yeah, I mean, in terms of Lukaku, can he get over 20 goals this season? Comes from Trailer Guy. Yeah, of course he can. This guy has proved it in the past, guys. He's got over, I think, 25 goals. We just went through a few moments ago. So let's have a look. Let's go by price. Lukaku. Yeah, so he's hit 25 goals, and he's hit 20 goals once in his career. So he's hit around 17, 15, 16. So he's hit 20 goals plus once. With the service he's going to get, it's going to be unreal for him. As much as it's going to be a delight for Kane at Man City, there's some serious talent in that Chelsea team. Pulisic, Mount, Havertz. There's some real talent. Jorginho, we can't forget him. Kante. The guy's going to get some serious service in there. And obviously Chilwell, Reece James, these kind of players around him. He's going to get some good service. So we just have to wait to see, guys, how he performs on that. Adam Scott asked me, are you bringing in Lukaku? Not to begin with, buddy. Definitely I will consider it after game week 3 when there is an international break. Lukaku, I'll look at him. If he starts off well and I see Chelsea playing well, we'll see how it goes. Now, my tip for the champions, obviously this season is going to be Manchester United. I'm a United fan. But I think if there's going to be an outside chance, obviously City are favourites. But if there's an outside chance, Chelsea have a good chance. And this guy, Romelu Lukaku, if he bags 20 goals plus, they'll win the title. Defensively, they're so sound. I think they'll win the title if he gets 20 goals plus. Just my opinion, guys. I'm not a Chelsea fan. I'm a United fan. So, Ollie asks, Bowen or Benrahma? So I've been asked this question before, guys. The only thing I have against Benrahma, or one thing that kind of puts me off Benrahma, is the lack of trust that David Moyes has in him. So David Moyes, for example, what he will do is last minute, in terms of minutes-wise as well, we'll have a look at him generally. So what has he done, or what has he got for West Ham? Let's have a look. Benrahma, there he is. So last season, guys, he got 73 points, only 1,376 minutes. But when he does play, the guy got a goal and 6 assists. So it shows that the guy's got potential. for FPL point of view and footballing perspectives. But when you look at Bowen, for example, he's 6.5, so he's half a mil more. He's got 141 points with 14 returns, and he played double the minutes. So for me, I'd rather pay half a mil more and get, Jarrod Bowen in myself. And I generally like the way he plays. I've seen him on TV and I've seen him live as well when I want to watch a football match last season. So I personally would go Jarrod Bowen. Personally, I think he's a better option out of the two, buddy. Shaggy goes, I'm going to go like this. Sanchez, Trent, Shaw, Chilwell, Maddison, Rafinha, Bowen, Salah, Tony and Bamford. Now that looks like a really good squad, buddy. So I think that looks a lot better. Obviously with the risk injury to Calvert-Lewin, we'll just have to wait and see what Rafa gives us in terms of a update. People love to bandwagon no Bruno against Leeds is a huge risk, and people like to ignore that, support their view. Of course, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, if that's how you want to play your game and that's how you want to select, we're always going to have differentials. Look, there's plenty of players in this game itself. So let's go to all players and let's select them. Let's have a look by team selected by. So let's have a look at the few biggest defenders that are selected. So let's go on to defenders. So who will stand out for me where I think, oh my God, that's low ownership. So I've had a lot of people question me why Diaz over Cancelo. Cancelo is owned by 7.8% of managers. Again, not an essential in my point of view. And if I don't have him, I don't think I'll lose out on much. Who else do we have? Now, another one that surprises me is Ryan Bertrand at 5 mil. Only 2.1%. Now, I'm watching him quite carefully pre-season, guys. This is someone I'm looking out for personally. And if I can see him in game week 1 against Wolves really turn up, there's a really strong likelihood I might kind of go down from, like, let's say, even a Cresswell down to a Ryan Bertrand. I might get half a mil extra. And I can upgrade from a Harrison to a Rafinha. That's something I am looking at, guys. So, again, there are some gems who are not owned by a lot of managers at the moment. That can be worth looking at. Let's look at some midfielders, for example. So ownership-wise. Again, Gundogan surprises me. So this is one I'm looking at. So this is one of the things I'm going to look at on the Sunday's game, for example. Last season, when Kevin De Bruyne was injured, for example, this guy was on set pieces. He played a bit further up on the field, so he's getting involved with the interlinked passes for Man City. And this guy got over 150 points. So he's a highest scoring midfielder last season with 157 points respectively for Man City. He was on penalties. The guy converted with 13 goals and 4 assists. He was 5.5 mil last season, guys, but 7.5 mil this season. So I'm going to watch him very carefully because after the Spurs game, you've got Norwich at home, Arsenal at home, Leicester away seems a bit difficult, but then Southampton home. I think there's some good fixtures for him to really take advantage whilst Foden and Kevin De Bruyne are making their way back from injury. So you can see there's some really good gems there. Pepe, for example, 3.3% of managers own him. 7.5 mil. I personally believe that if he gets off to a good start, guys, I'm looking to bring him in potentially if I can. So this is another player I'm looking at. And Bernardo Silva, if he does move away from Man City, I would definitely look to get him in for 7 mil. The guy's incredible. He doesn't really get much minutes at Man City, but, he can score goals and set up. And if he gets the regular game time, definitely want him in for 7 mil. As you can see, there are alternative options, guys, to go through and select teams and do some planning ahead. The unofficial tribe said they had the second worst expected goal conceded last season. Yeah, that was Leeds for sure. I think I'll get Lukaku, Troller Guy says, but later on because he needs to be getting used to the team. Of course, so again, let them get used to the team. Chimika. Sorry, guys, I can't pronounce it. Thank you. In my language, it's CC. So, as well, DCL should not start, but I'll keep my fingers to the ground. FPL Rubber Ducky. Afternoon all. Afternoon, FPL Rubber Ducky. Thank you for joining. Fadzil's back. Welcome, Fadzil. FPL Tribe, you are everywhere. I'm looking for some infos. Adam Scott, his team is. Let's go through it, guys. So we've got Sanchez. In defence, we've got Trent. Against Civicas, Amati, Dinia. Very good defence. We've got Barnes, Fernandez, Salah, and then Wilson, Tony, Antonio. I really like that 4-3-3. So who's going to be your captain, Adam? Let me know. I think that's a really good squad and an amazingly strong bench. On the bench, you got Rafinha and Diaz. So wow, that is a really good squad, mate. Big thumbs up from me. Well done. I really like that team. But let me know who your captain is because I'd like to know what your thoughts on captaincy for this week are. This fantasy, Trailer Guy said, this fantasy is going to be brilliant because last year it was more easier to get good players. With this year, if you want to fair play, you'll have to be smart to win, and it takes a lot of thought. I couldn't agree more, buddy. Players now this season, for me, you're going to be outpriced. You can't get. Last season was a bit easier to get 3 premiums and like 1 almost premium. So what I mean by almost premium, so 3 premiums could be like, Bruno, Salah, Kane, and then you could potentially look to fit in just about, 9.5 Son, maybe a 9 mil Rashford, an 8.5 mil Mahrez. You could get these kind of players and you can make a really good squad. This season it's a bit more challenging. This is why I've gone 5 at the back. Look, there's nothing wrong with going 3-4-3. A lot of experts on FPL right now have made videos and a lot of people are talking about their team. Some people have, picked players that I'm looking at thinking, do you know what? I can't have these guys in my team. That's just my thought. Whether they're right or wrong, they're not. This is what this game is, guys, all about. We will agree to disagree and we've got to follow what we believe is going to be the right thing. So I've gone 5 at the back. For me, if I'm going to have an extra midfielder in there, what benefit do I think I'm going to have by having, let's say, a Zaha, for example, of 7 or a Barnes? I think I'll probably pretty much, they get around 120 to 150 points max. Why not pay that for a 5.5 defender who potentially could get you 140 points equivalent as well? So you're saving 2 mil there. Why can't I upgrade Danny Ings to a Kane? I'm looking at more of a territory of 220 points. Why don't I want to leave Son in there? I do want to leave Son in there. If I can get Son in there with Kane, geez, that would be my squad. But for me, I think, do you know what, guys? Let's go 5 at the back. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, we can rip up this squad and I can follow 3-4-3 or my favourite from last season, the season before, 4-4-2. So it's not a big deal whatsoever. Fadzo, what are your thoughts on Vardy? He scored in every Leicester opener and Wolves to play a high line with a new manager. Space for Vardy to exploit any benefits of thicker lines of offering. So, the thing with Leicester, Leicester City this year, for me, there'll be rotation. Now, how much rotation will Vardy get? That's the question. So they've brought Daka. Daka's had a really good pre-season. Iheanacho had a great finish to last season. He looks strong. He looks hungry for success. He scored that penalty against Man City. Fair dues for him not celebrating. But for me, guys, I don't care if they're your previous team. You scored a goal, you won your team a trophy. You have all the right in the world to celebrate. What kind of system are they going to play? Wing-back system? Are they going to have 3 in midfield, 5 in midfield, 2 up front, 3 up front? So it used to be Vardy alone. I think Vardy will get time, minutes-wise, opening of the season. But then they're in Europa League as well. So Thursday, Sunday, midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday for FA Cup / Europa League. He's getting older. We say this every season. But he will have moments where he goes, he will catch form. And you can't overlook this guy because last season towards the end, I had him in the last, maybe 10 out of the last 12 weeks. And he lost complete form. But the guy still got 15 goals and 14 assists, almost 200 points. And it wasn't one of his best seasons. He plays lots of minutes. That's the thing he does get. He's Mr. Leicester throughout. So I think 13.5% of managers who've chosen him, respect to you guys, because I've had him in my team in the last 3 seasons in a row. But this season, guys, I just can't go without Harry Kane, regardless wherever he is, because last season I was on edge whenever he was not in my team. So that's why I've moved away from Vardy. I just want to get Kane in. So let's say if I wasn't so Kane adamant, or I wasn't that adamant to get Kane in wherever he goes or wherever he stays, Jamie Vardy would definitely be my striker. So last season, my 2 strikers mainly throughout the season was DCL, Vardy, and if I changed DCL at the end of first half to the second half, I changed him to Bamford. So that was literally my 2 strikers. Vardy was in there for most of the season, but then I changed Vardy. I think it was the last 2 game weeks for Iheanacho because I just lost patience. But if you're going for him, guys, he'll get chances against Wolves. Even if it's not Wolves, the guy gets chances. He's on penalties, and he will score. He hasn't got a bad run, to be fair. West Ham away, I think it'll be a decent game. Norwich away. Man City at home, they beat them last season at the Etihad. I think it was 6-2, 6-1 or something, or 5-1, or 5-2. Then they got Brighton and Hove Albion in game week 5, Burnley, Crystal Palace. Guys, first 7 game weeks, barring like that one game against Man City, I think it's a good shout. There's not midweek games then as well. We'll probably play every week. Good differential. I think, that might get you off to a good start. I can tell you now, if he scores 2 goals against Wolves, that 13% of managers will go up to 30%. That's for sure. Fancy unofficial drive. Vardy's such a great option. Great captaincy against Norwich game week 3, in my opinion. Best captaincy that week. Yeah, I agree, guys. And if Kane's available game week 2 against Norwich, he's going to be my captain. I'll just make that obvious right now. The official tell you, yes, this man knows his stuff. You persuade me to go for Vardy. I think I might stick with him. Looks like I took him. Alexander Craig said, what do you think about Vardy? Again, I've given my point of Vardy, buddy. If I could get him in, I wasn't too adamant on having Jamie Vardy. Harry Kane, then I would look to get him in. But the alternative option I could potentially have done, if City had an easier fixture, I probably could have gone Grealish and Vardy for 10.5. That could have worked. But I've just gone for Son and Danny Ings, because I think Danny Ings has a better fixture in terms of Watford, I believe. First game week, I really want to give him a shot, guys. And whilst you're on Danny Ings, guys, what were your thoughts on his transfer? Wow, I mean, in this generation, not leaking it anywhere. Aston Villa, you know, massive thumbs up for your transfers, guys. You shocked the whole FPL world. Everyone's like, what? Danny Ings, Aston Villa? What's going to happen to Ollie Watkins? Ollie Watkins, literally, he got injured the couple of days after. But wow, you know, this guy becomes like 33, 34% owned. And I've owned him as well. So this guy's a machine. Last season had injuries, but you know, the Southampton squad getting 12 goals. Season before, 22 goals. This guy can score. He's got me on penalties. Good captaincy option as well, because they've got a good game this week against Watford, then Newcastle, and Brentford as well. So yeah, Fads will say Bertrand, yeah, he's a good option, but Castagne's back. Now his position is at risk. Can't see Pereira to get the bench. Again, yeah, it's about seeing how they line up, guys. For me, you know, if you're bringing in Bertrand, the guy's a really good player. I do rate him, and if he does get minutes, that's why I will keep an eye out for him. So let's wait and see how Leicester line up, guys. The official Fads, you have to go with my gut. If I could go with Vardy instead of one of my strikers, I would. Cavan lad, I'm going with Vardy, best striker in the league in my opinion, mate. I'm not going to say he's the best striker in the league, but he's one of the best strikers. That's what I definitely would say. Connor says, is Trent essential? Now, I've made a video about is Trent essential. I said he was essential, but my view has changed ever since Robertson has got injured, and I'll tell you why. Now, Trent, by his standards last season, didn't have a great season. He's not played in the summer for England. How match sharp is he? I don't think he's played much during the kind of like season, pre-season. So we have to wait and see what's going on with him. How sharp does he look? Will they keep clean sheets without Robertson? We'll have to wait and see. They've got a new defender as well. I don't know his name. I don't know how to pronounce it or remember it on top of my head. I think there's another defender they've got to partner with Van Dijk. There it is. Ibrahima Konate. So again, is he going to fit in? So there's a lot of defence options. So in terms of essential-wise, you look at the fixtures, they're great. You've got 3 of the promoted sides from the Championship in the first 8 game weeks. Fantastic. He's got clean sheet potential. But again, the defence is a bit weaker, in my opinion, without Robertson. A new defender in Konate. I don't know. Like in terms of like getting offensively, he'll probably get you a return or 2. Maybe more, but I don't think he's an essential first game. If you had to ask me, guys, essentials for me are Salah, Fernandes. Another essential, I'd potentially say Digne. I'd say he's essential personally because I'll tell you why. It's the fixtures they have. I think they've got the best 10 game week fixtures in my opinion. So I don't think it's not essential in the sense that, you know, it's someone from Everton. He's part of the Everton defence, and I can see them getting some clean sheets in the first part. And he's their best defender. He's on like set pieces and stuff, takes corners, so I think he can get a set piece with a clean sheet. That makes me a bit more essential from there. And Rafa likes to shore up his defences from last season. So that's my opinion, guys. So Trent, for me at the moment, with Robertson being injured, I don't think he's essential, buddy. But if he does go well, who can argue with it? And I made this analogy earlier. So Salah and Bruno have 5 in 10 managers who've selected him because they're 50% owned. Let's look at Alexander-Arnold. His ownership's 33%. So out of 10 managers, around 3.3% of managers, or 3.3 managers have him as ownership. So he's not that essential. If we look at ownership by defenders at the moment, who's selected more ownerships? Yes, he's second. But, I think there are better alternatives out there. 7.5 mil is far too much on a defender for me, especially if Robertson's not available. I definitely would have used him if Robertson hadn't got injured. That's for sure. The official, I don't have any because of my team set up this season. Trailer guide, the fantasy is harder to make a team. So Trailer guide makes a really good point here, guys. The fantasy year, it's hard to make your team, has a lot of good options. So go with your gut. Whoever wins, fair play, because it's going to be tough and a lot of players will be worse than you think. I think that's such a valid point, buddy. For me, I've played this for eight or 9 years now. This is definitely the hardest draft I had to make because of the... I say that every year, to be fair, but that's because of the pricing and the model itself. Kevin Ladd says Rafinha and Smith Rowe or Saka and Dallas for a differential. I really like Rafinha, Smith Rowe, Kevin, personally. I love Saka, I love Dallas, but Rafinha, Smith Rowe. That's the one for me, boss. Joshua says Smith Rowe and 0.5 million in the bank or Benrahma with 0 in the bank. Don't have Antonio. Buddy, again, we've discussed Benrahma earlier in this stream. So for me, it's the lack of minutes. Will he get those minutes under Moyes again this season? We're just going to have to wait and see. So for me, I'd rather save the 0.5 and get Smith Rowe in, because I rate Smith Rowe. And against Brentford, yeah, it's a new team promoted, first game in their new stadium. There'll be an adrenaline. They want to do well, but come on, buddy. Smith Rowe had a really good end of last season. I think he's in line for some good points in the first part of the season. So Smith Rowe for me, bud. Adam Scott, cheers. Salah is my captain playing Norwich. It's a no-brainer. Literally the words out of my mouth, Adam. So cheers for that, buddy. Great captaincy choice. I'm going Mane as captain, says Kevin. Do you know what, mate? Huge respect. 4% of managers own him out of 5.5 million managers who have almost registered for this game. If he goes big and he scores 2 goals or gets an assist with there and he gets like a 15 to 20 point, your ranking is going to be, you're going to be in the top, I'd say 15% of managers easily for game week 1. So that would be good. Trolley guys, I like that formation. I might switch it to that. Total thing is very smart, but probably will do a 4-3-3 again, buddy. Entirely your choice. Full respects for whichever formation you play. What rank did I get last season? I can find out for you, buddy. So last season, Oliver, due to family reasons and personal reasons, I didn't play the game for a good. Well, I started the game off, and there was a good, I'd say, 8 to 10 game weeks where I just didn't touch my squad. I was unable to look into the game. I had personal reasons I didn't play. But let me show you guys my rankings from previous years. I'm not too bad. I'm not saying I'm absolutely fabulous, but I've done not so bad previously. So let's look at my game week history. So my first season I started off, I got 1.67 mil. But my best ranking, well, last season I finished 1.2 mil. I got 2,156 points, which arguably was my second highest ever point tally. Season before, I came in the top 500,000. I got 489,000 rank, 2,160. So only 4 extra points from last season. So considering, I didn't play like 10 games of last season or 8 to 10 games, I didn't do that badly, to be fair. This season, what my aim is, I want to better my top 489,000. So if I can get a better rank than that, obviously higher than that would be absolutely amazing. Obviously, I want to win the game. If I can beat that record, that's going to be my aim this season, buddy. So that's my overall stats from last season, was around 1.2 mil. I think if I had played, I probably would have finished in anywhere between, I say probably 500 to 600,000. That's what I would personally, that's what I'll be guessing. Unofficial tribe. Vardy underperformed his XG last season. He has consistently hit around 20 XGs for last season. He has indeed. He didn't hit it last season, buddy, but you know what? He's got a good rest over the summer. He's watched everyone else play football. Might be willing to unleash straight away. People say Trent essential, but I don't agree. I don't think he's essential at the moment, buddy. I've seen plenty of drafts without Trent, which look absolutely brilliant, so he's not essential. Like if you see a draft right now in game week 1 without Salah, who's playing Norwich, and he's not even in your draft, immediately I think, he's an essential. But again, as I said, he's only owned by 50% of managers, so that for me is essential more than 33% of Trent. Because a lot of people see differently, so you can see a 7.5 million midfielder or a 7.5 million defender. Or if you want to upgrade, save that 2 mil, and let's say take Danny Ings to a Vardy. or, I'm just saying along those lines, we can actually see that, or maybe a Reguilon to a Vardy, something to worth keeping in mind as well. So let's have a look at a few more questions. Yeah, so Trello guy makes it, but no one is essential at the moment. It's just about your gut. It is your gut instinct, guys, and it's your inkling. So follow what you guys feel is right. Bamford or Ings? I've got both. Says Alex. Says Kevin. Bamford or Ings? Well, I'm going to have Bamford for the whole season. If you want short term, go Ings because of the first 3 fixtures of the game week. Of his game week, so for example, he's got Watford, Newcastle, Brentford, and then he hits a solid game week patch. But if you want a long term, myself, I'm going to go Bamford because he's got 2 difficult games to start off with, the Liverpool game week 4, but then look at that run in game week 5 onwards, and I just think he's going to be a better option for me. Ings is more injury prone. Bamford might get more share of the goals for Leeds compared to Ings might have a bit of sharing with Watkins. They could go 4-4-2. Obviously, you've got other players in there like Traore, El Ghazi. So again, for me, I'll go Petra Bamford personally. Alexandra Craig says, I've gone for Lacazette. Thoughts? Wow, that's the first one I've seen, buddy. I'm happy with that, to be fair. Lacazette's so underrated, honestly, and he so underperforms. That's the problem with him. Last season, there was this game against Liverpool they played, and I watched it last season on TV live. He had some great chances to win that game for Arsenal against Liverpool. It was early part of the season. I think it's game week 2 or something. I think Mane should have been sent off for an elbow or something along those lines. But this guy just was so unlucky that night. I swear to God, it was unbelievable. But do you know what, to you guys? He got 13 goals and 3 assists last season for someone who played 1,916 minutes. That's not bad. Let's say he played another 1,000 minutes. You're looking at him getting around 180 points. And for 8.5 mil, that's not bad. I think if he gets some more game time this season, definitely a good shout, buddy. I'm looking at Pepe a bit more. I'm not going to lie to you, but Lacazette, if he does get on fire, he might catch my attention as well. Brentford, then they've got Chelsea and Man City. Again, they're difficult games, but he's an attacker, not a defender. So let's not worry about that. Then Norwich, Burnley. Obviously, the North London derby is their biggest game. Followed by Brighton, Crystal Palace, Villa. Yeah, so if you're going like Lacazette, buddy, I think that's a good shout. Fair enough, buddy. I like that choice. Nice little differential. Trailer guy says Ings then switch to Bamford and Lacazette. Do you much could go for Ings or Antonio for extra money to upgrade your defence? Fair enough. So unofficial tribe says Godsend. Fabs said Pickford own goal game week 1. never say never, buddy. I mean, again, look. If that's a miscast plays, great option for 4 mil. But I've heard that Milner might be starting, so just be wary, guys. He might not even get a game. So do not put him as 2-4 million defenders and then upgrade elsewhere. Just be careful in terms of how. I'd look out for Klopp's interview tomorrow. Just keep an eye out for whether he starts or not. But he's still a great option, buddy. No doubt whatsoever. Connor asked me, Jota or Greenwood, do you think Jota will play ahead of Firmino? That's a really good question. I think Jota will play. I think he will. Apologies, guys. My throat went dry. I think Jota will play. Jota or Greenwood? I think with Jota, whether he plays the full game or not, I'm not too certain. He will get minutes. It's against Norwich. Greenwood, I reckon, will play 90 minutes or he'll start the game against Leeds. Which is the better fixture? Obviously, the Norwich one for Liverpool. Who do I think will get potentially more goals? Without being biased to Manchester United, personally, for me, if I wanted to play safe in terms of minutes, I'd be Greenwood. That's my honest opinion. Jota is phenomenal. But I've only seen a small sample of him from last season. He had a good start, got injured in the Champions League, then came back, had a good little burst as well. Can he do that consistently? It'd be worth seeing it. When obviously you're going to have players like Sadio Mane and Fernandes who go for the African Cup of Nations in January, February. Will he be able to carry the team and take burden of the pressure? So we'll have to wait and see. But for me, I'll go Greenwood because he scored in the pre-season games. He looks sharp. So for me, I'd go Greenwood. FPL Rare, best Havertz replacement. Good question, boss. Let's have a look. So Havertz, I believe he's 8.5. Let me have a look. Yeah, Havertz is 8.5. So let's have a look at the midfielders. Let's have a look at the games first. I want to look at the fixtures to see who we've got. Pepe at 7.5 for Arsenal versus Brentford will be a good shout. Again, Greenwood for Manchester United against Leeds will be a good shout. You could go either Harvey Barnes or Maddison from Leicester against Wolves. I reckon Leicester will have a great game there as well. And if you want to take a bold move and go for the most expensive British player signing for 100 mil, you can go Jack Grealish against Spurs as well. So that's my opinion, guys. So those are alternatives for Havertz. Personally, if I was to choose out of them, I'd go Greenwood. That's just my thought, buddy. If not, you want to go differential, Pepe will be a good shout. Again, unofficial tribe said exactly the same thing for me for Connor in terms of Greenwood and Jota. Deadly Mantis says, I've gone against the grain and have picked Leno to start in goal. He's predicted to get the most points for 5 mil or less than any other keeper in the first 8 game weeks. Anyone else got Leno? Yeah, guys, if anyone else does have Bernd Leno in their squad, let us know. Let's see how many teams he's selected by. Let's have a look. Bernd Leno, 2.3%. Deadly Mantis, I'm giving you a shout out. Massive inkling and follow your gut. Love it. Thumbs up, buddy. Choosing Bernd Leno. Gotta respect it. And do you know what? If he performs well, he gets some really good clean sheet points in the first. Where should we put a barrier on there? All right, let's go first 3 games, buddy. So till the international break. If he gets some really good start, pop back a message on me and we'll have a chat about it. You know what? I'll give you a big massive thumbs up for that. Respect. You know what? I love that analysis of, he's predicted to get the most points for the first. I'm gonna, after game week 8, I'll make a note of that. Let's have a look at who gets the highest points in terms of the 5 million goalkeeper starters, right? I might even make a special video on that. Thanks, Deadly Mantis. Let's see how predictions go, eh? True Always Wins has asked me why have I gone 5 at the back. I've said it already at the start, buddy, if you've missed it. The reason why, I just wanted to be differential. I wanted to go, I've tried every other formation over the last 8 years. The reason why I've gone 5 at the back is I've made drafts and I've looked at the points from last season and looked at the points for this draft for this season. And for some reason, I feel that there's more value in this squad. Now, this isn't my overall squad, buddy. Son will be taken out for, I think, Harrison. And Ings will be upgraded to Kane whenever available for Spurs or Manchester City if he gets his move. So that is my squad. So if I was to show you what my squad would look like, if, let's say, everything was absolutely perfect right now, then it would definitely be the following. So I'll make the transfers. So that's what it would look like, buddy. So overall, let's say everything was absolutely perfect. Kane was nailed on. He's ready at Manchester City. This is what my team would look like for this game week season. And that's why I've gone for 3 premiums and 5 defenders. Because I believe that for me to get those 3 premiums in, I can't go this season without these guys, these 3 especially, in any game week. I'm just on edge so much. Has Salah scored? Has he missed? Has Bruno missed or scored? Has Kane blanked? Oh my God, there's so much pressure. This is why I've got these guys in. I'm happy with my defence. I'll take those 5 defenders. I'll take the risk. That's what wants to make me different. I've seen so many experts on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. They've all followed 3-4-3, 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 3-5-2. Again, full respect. It's your choice, whatever you choose. But for me, I thought I saw a stat. I'm one of the rare 1.8% of managers through FPL creators who've gone for 5 at the back. So I'll stick with that. I want to be a differential. And this is what makes this channel so special, guys. You can see common trends, common expert opinions. All I'm going to say is I'm just a common man, common manager, new thoughts. I like to be different. If this helps me get differentials and gets me more points and I can gain an advantage first straight up, brilliant. Let's say this doesn't go too well. I'll give it 3 or 4 weeks. International break. I'll rip the team up. I'll follow whatever's going well, make a new team, and we can take it from there. I might not even want Kane at that point. I might go Lukaku. I might downgrade to a Vardy. I might see Vardy with more potential. I might upgrade Harrison to Grealish. Or I might just go Cresswell to Trent. Again, this team can look completely different. This is what I want to start with. And this is what I believe, kind of allows me to be myself. And this is what this channel is all about, buddy. Actually, let me make those changes back. Let's just say, just in case I forget, it's better to have my team back to what it was. By the way, Nuno says tomorrow Kane's available for the City game. Guys, this team will change back. FYI. Cool. Let's carry on some more questions. So, Tom Terry has asked me, what is my opinion of Havertz and Mount? I love both of them. Havertz, I had high expectations for him this season. I think due to long COVID, it was difficult for him to obviously show his abilities last season. But when he did come back at the end of the part of the season, wow. I was really impressed by him in the Euros as well for Germany. But generally, I've seen him in last night's game as well. Yes, he missed a penalty, but penalties, can't really judge a player on that. But he got 4 goals and 6 assists last season, 91 points, guys. I think this guy will rip it. I reckon he'll get involved with Lukaku in there as well now. He was going to play the number 9 role before Lukaku, so I was kind of thinking, do you know what, if I can see how Chelsea line up in the Premier League, I might go a bit differential and get him in. Trying to take advantage of the number 9. But now Lukaku's in, he's going to come back to his original kind of position. So we'll have to wait and see, but generally I have high expectations of him. Mount got the highest points in midfield last season for them. 7.5 mil, I think it's half a mil too much. 6 goals, 7 assists. I think he'll get better this season. He got 147 last year. I think he could potentially hit about 160, maybe even 170 this season, depending on how many goals Lukaku can score and he can help him assist. But both great players in the right. But if I had to choose one of the two, I'd have Havertz. Sorry for that, in my team. Fads, just hope Norwich can score 2 so that Trent can get 1 point. And if he doesn't have any attack in return. Actually, yeah, so he'll lose 1 point for 2 goals and yeah, he'll score. That would be pretty hilarious, to be fair. I'm a United fan, so, for me, if Salah gets a return and Liverpool lose, win-win for me. The Fisher's right. If Salah hits points 3 times and 3 yards out of the game, if he only gets 2 points, it will still be a good option regardless of the result. I get that. Deadly Man said, do you use any predictive tools, FFH, FPL Scout, etc.? To be brutally honest, I don't. I literally just go by what I feel, what my gut feeling is. I watch the games myself. See, there's only so many stats you can follow. For me, the best thing to do is watch games. Watch Match of the Day, watch live games, watch highlights, see who gets in what positions. Because look, you can have games where someone can have an unlucky game. Someone can hit the post, someone can get into good positions. They won't do well this week. But you kind of know they're hitting form. Those stats won't show that. The stats will show last game week 2 points only. 3 good chances missed, or for example. For me, that's too much stat space. I'm more of a gut kind of a person. That's why for me, example, I've gone 5 at the back. I've taken on my gut. I could have so easily gone 3-4-3, picked Trent, picked Digne or Shaw, picked Ben White, safe option, 3 defenders, picked 2 4-minute defenders, and then made my squad. I followed my gut instinct. I thought, you know what, this year I'm going to go 5 at the back and I'm going to choose 5 defenders, and that's how I'm going to play. So I'm not saying I'm never going to use them. I might start looking at them and I might start using them in my content to back up some arguments I might have in terms of why I think someone should or shouldn't be in your team. But generally, I'm not using them at the moment. I can look to use them in the future. A very good question, Deadly Mantis. Van Dijk over Trent from Cameron Lad. Guys, I made a video called Unforgotten Heroes. Please check it out on my channel if you do get a chance later. There are some heroes that we've forgotten about. And Van Dijk, unfortunately, because of his not playing most of the last season, he's been forgotten about. So he got nearly 180 points the season before and 210 points nearly the season before that. The guy's got around 7 to 8 assists in those 2 full seasons, so he's a goal threat from set pieces and stuff. And the guy has clean sheets of like 35 clean sheets over 2 seasons. That's almost a whole season. 50% of his games are clean sheets. So it shows how much impact he does have. 11% of managers do have him. If I had to choose between him and Trent, who would I choose? Either of them, to be fair. He's a mil less. And if he's only going to if he's going to score around the same amount of points, then I'd go for the cheaper option personally. Truth was it. Nuno's a very defensive manager. Personally, I don't believe he's going to last a season. Chelsea fan here. I would never have guessed. See, look, he's gone to a bigger job. We've got to respect him. Players that I'm looking at from Spurs myself. Now we're on the topic. Obviously, I've got Son in for game week 1 and dependent upon when it goes through. You've got Doherty in there. Now, Doherty had some really good seasons before he came from Wolves under Nuno. Will he get his spot back at right wing back? We'll have to wait and see. 5 mil, I might go for him. I might get him into my squad. So I'll be watching out for him. If he does well and he gets game time, he could come in. Obviously, you've got Reguilon again at 5 mil. Pretty much going to play week in, week out. And then you've got Dele Alli. 1.3% of managers got him. 6.5 mil. Might even upgrade him from a Harrison. Someone I'm looking at the moment in terms of Spurs. They've also got Martinez as well, who they're looking to bid in for as well. So we'll have to just wait and see, guys, who they're going to bring into their squad. Trolliger says not Van Dijk, just go Konate. Again, Konate 5.5 mil. I mean, I'd go Van Dijk personally. He's not a bad option. Shanksy, who do you think are the must-have players? Well, that's a question and a half. Must-have for me, guys: Salah, Fernandes, Harry Kane, if he was available this week, whether for Spurs or Manchester City. Must-have in the fixtures. I mean, I would have said Havertz if they hadn't played that midweek game with 120 minutes. And do you know what? I'm actually going to say must-haves. I'll just say it. I'm going to say Danny Ings. Danny Ings, I think he's a must-have, guys, to be fair, for this game week. You want to see how he plays for his new club. Big signing for Aston Villa. Played well, obviously, of course, again. So those are my must-haves, guys, for this week. That's my opinion. Actually, no Spurs players from an Arsenal fan. Wow. That's fair enough. I've got a Liverpool player and I'm a United fan, guys, so it can be done. I like your Dino pick. Very good. I would have put him in the team instead of Trent and 2 million spare user. And that's what I've done, guys. I've just used that 2 million elsewhere. And I could have gone Vardy, Trent Alexander-Arnold, but no, I want to go Dina and Harry Kane. That's just the way I've kind of spread my funds. Shanksy, what's my thought on Lukaku? At the start of the stream, buddy, I did give my thoughts on it. We had a bit of a deep, kind of like a long chat around it. 11.5 mil. It's a bit expensive. I want to see how he fares out for the first 3 game weeks until the international break. I don't think he's going to be available for this weekend anyway against Crystal Palace. And his next 2 games, I think, let's have a look. Sorry, I've forgotten them. Chelsea. I think it's Man City. No, Arsenal, Liverpool. So let them play those 2 games, and then we'll see how he kind of sets up. And if he does well, I might look to bring him in and completely change the dynamics of my team. Come on, Gunners. So we've got an Arsenal versus Manchester City conversation going on here. So, guys, I didn't even realise we've gone over the hour mark. So the initial expectation for me was to do this for an hour. I had an amazing interaction with you guys, amazing conversations. Thank you so much for joining the first deadline stream. So what's this season going to look like? So I'll give you guys a bit of like an introduction. So I'll be looking to have like 3 times a week. I'll be looking to bring you guys content. I'll do a deadline stream. Pretty much not like many other channels, but who do it like literally before like the deadline itself. I'll probably do it the night before like I've done today. That's pretty much due to work commitments. So I probably won't be able to do that. I'll be working at a point, but I will bring it you slightly earlier. So usually I will do a deadline stream before all game weeks that will start, and I'll give you guys my team that I've gone for, my captaincy pick, and we'll have a live Q&A. We'll have a chat about what your thoughts are, what we're thinking about this week, what's gone well last week, what's not gone so well, what we're going to look to do, what we're going to look to avoid. We'll have a great chat. The next video I'm going to bring you is going to be the reaction video. So it's going to be like a knee-jerk reaction. Probably pretty much most likely going to be on a Monday night. Obviously after the weekend there might be a game left on Monday, so we might be doing it whilst the game's going on. So it's probably going to be then, or it could be a Sunday. It depends on how commitments of mine are. And then we'll do a midweek, I'll do a video. It won't be a live video. It will just be a general video which I'll release, which will be my team selection, my captaincy choices, and general thoughts of the week itself. So that's going to be my channel breakdown for you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for everyone joining. And I really thank you all for coming in, taking your precious time out, joining, having a chat. Let me know what your thoughts are. You know, I really appreciate all your time. You know, I want to wish every single one of you best of luck. And I thank you all for, you know, asking me questions, you know, in regards to my team and what my thoughts are on certain things. Look, guys, I ain't no expert. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm like, you know, the best ever. But you know what? I have an understanding of the game of football. I have a really good understanding of the game of FPL. I can give you my opinions. Whether you accept them or not, your choice. But you know what? I would like to hear from you. And that's how I can, you know, kind of develop myself as well and share with you my thoughts. Because sometimes you guys might bring out something to my attention which I've kind of not thought about or overlooked. This is where we grow as a family, and this is how this FPL InClick family is going to grow. And this is what's going to make us so successful this season. And I'm going to make sure I can answer your questions to get you guys to being the best manager rank for your game or be the #1. Let's all win the game, guys. That's our aim. Let's have the same aim and let's have a great season. Absolute pleasure. I will see you guys soon, potentially on Monday with the reaction video. We'll have a knee-jerk reaction. So join again for a live Q&A. It's probably going to be around the same time, so probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'll put the stream time out beforehand, so stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the FPL InClick channel. I'd love to see you guys subscribe. And I've also had, you know, I'll give a shout out for Sharksy, who's given me a nice stream comment, and he's mentioned that he'll be a subscriber. So thank you guys for all your love. Please do subscribe. I hope you all have a great weekend. I want to wish every single one of you the best of luck for this game week. All I'm going to say, guys, be patient. You've made your decisions over the last 4 weeks. We've had a long time to contemplate over this. Don't be hasty. Give yourself time, reflect, take it easy. See how it goes. Watch the game. Don't look at the scorecard and go, oh, Salah didn't get a goal, Bruno didn't get a goal. No. Watch the game. There may be incidents where, you know, it could have gone one way or the other. Feel a bit more confident. You will bounce back. Trust in yourselves, be confident. And listen, guys, if you need anything, you got my social media. Contact me on Twitter, even on YouTube here, Instagram. You let me know. I'll help you out with anything I can as soon as possible. I'm pretty good at getting back to responses, guys. So you let me know where I can help you, and I'll help you guys out. Enjoy the weekend. Have a great time. Best of luck to all of you. I really do wish everyone the best of luck. And do you know what? I hope you guys get off to a good start. You're all safe. Stay safe from COVID. Have a great weekend. Watch the football. And let's come back on Monday and let's have a live chat, Q&A. Join me. Let's review what went well, what didn't go well, and tell me what your scores are, and you guys can see what I did or how I did as well. If you haven't joined the league, guys, join the FPL InClick League. The code's on the bottom left. Actually, middle left now. Sorry, I've changed the design. Join it, guys. Be part of it. Let me know what your thoughts are, and let's have a great league itself. All right? Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, guys, and hit the notification icon if you want the latest notifications for my content. I'll see you guys on Monday. You take care. Until then,